I'd like to share my own by first stating that I don't have aspiration, but rather ambition. As to the specifics of what I wish to achieve, they are not possible in the system we generally choose to follow. My wishes extends not only to my direct vessel's experience, but also others. My wish can't be limited to only my direct experience, because it would be lonely. I don't want a business, or marriage, or anything to do with human laws and their societal structure. Absolutely fuck all to do with that shit. Too many broken glass pieces to walk on. My wish is freedom to be self completely, which will allow me to be happy. But that cannot be limited there, because this world was meant for love and companionship, and without companionship you can't express love. I know it's difficult to help make the blind see, but for those who are open, I always encourage them to experience what it feels to be unashamed, free of perversion, confusion, naked, embracing their inner child. We all have different beliefs, yeah I understand, but when you show someone how to be high without drugs, I know they will want to try to change. Sadly not many can break through the barrier that allows shame to exist. So instead I try to show them how working and all these things in both the long and short run won't satiate them the way they think it will. It's all about living a simple way. No language, no sense of division, so comfort is always going to be there. A family once more. Food, drinks, family, and you will always have a good time. This system which we allowed ourselves to succumb to causes constant stress on the mind, and this creates divisions between ourselves. Their minds are always worrying about something, so they never allow the chance to step back from it all and really look at their life. Everyone is too tired to want to change the way of living for the better, which requires a certain type of dedication, so choose the easier route and play along while living uncomfortably numb. That is to say, in order for the original and best lifestyle to be embraced, the current one would have to be entirely removed. And that sort of sudden change can only arise from a revolution. I know for a fact mankind won't allow that change to manifest on their own free will, even if reason was presented, so it's obvious different sacrifices will be made. If you gave the whole of mankind a call and told them they had a second chance and how to make the transition, most of them would hang up as you say you've got a second chance at life. They are lazy in spirit, so would not do anything, and it's these type of programs that allow other younger vessels from getting the chance of tasting truth. These are the ones who prevent change from happening and wish to drag others down with them. It's reached the point that even young children's minds have been so corrupted and confused, that neither they would wish to partake in change because of that selfishness and apathy they acquired from the elders. I have tried to use comparative religion to consider the goals described, such as enlightenment. To Hindus it is liberation from rebirth or samadhi, isolated unity. To Christians, it might be resurrection or ascension, and discipleship. Buddha's enlightenment caused him to teach a noble eightfold path and four noble truths. He felt compassion for all living beings who were suffering. I had an epiphany, which could be termed enlightenment, in a sense. It changed the way I viewed religion. After the epiphany, I had a sense of what needed to be done, plus I could reflect on a prophecy I read, which said that further light would be shed on a body of teaching that was presented in theosophy during the 19th century. The epiphany was a way to present theosophy that made it more symmetrical and easier to understand. The prophecy said the light would make its appearance during the last quarter of the 20th century. The epiphany was in 1995, when a new baby, my son, was 6 months old. Due to a feeling of love and responsibility, I felt compelled to tell others about the epiphany. I wrote this webpage, Ascension. I just wanted people to know a 7-race theory of evolution found in theosophy that made a lot of sense in terms of Bible agreement and did not conflict radically with what we know through science. I had to make a word to use to refer to a higher evolving kingdom than the human. I named it Girasa. For nearly 25 years, I have told strangers and acquaintances about the Girasa kingdom and Blavatsky's 7-race theory of evolution, 1888. The secret doctrine. Booty can't find a newspaper or magazine to publish this idea, so I just keep writing to individuals in hopes that someone will see its value to a population that exists here in the US. To me, it's just a viable alternative to Darwin's theory of evolution. There is so much that I can look forward to with regard to further study and work once it becomes acceptable to associate with and speak to a Jirasa kingdom and bring them to Earth more fully for solutions to global problems. I am amazed of how many enlightened folk roam the Earth today, especially in the US. I heard in the 90s in some places in California they were asking for guru references on resumes to certify the enlightenment of the applicants for various jobs. It looks like that is not required any longer. It is sufficient to declare yourself authentically enlightened, and support your claim by simply describing how wonderful everything is and how happy and blissful you live as a non-being 24 or even 25. 7. That is like buying a penthouse apartment in a building that is under construction, work being done on the first floor. The buyer lives in the future with the imagination of how wonderful life will be when moving in. That reality exists only in imagination and may never come to realization. Using a Hindu name, add the suffix ji or Baba, and then go out and hold YouTube talks about nothing to enlighten others too. Of course, that is not quite for free. Make sure you got a couple of photos of some gurus in fashion at your side as proof of your enlightenment. Learning a few Hindu spiritual buzzwords to sprinkle your English as a bonus. If challenged, you can retort arrogantly by pointing to any flaws in their discourse, contradictions they make in their statements, etc. And wrapping up by dismissing the ignorant as being too limited to understand, insisting that everything is a trick of their mind, including the fee charged for getting nothing. Even without getting into the business of selling nothing, by simply declaring yourself superior in any way, e.g. enlightened, is a proof of delusion and of a strong ego. You can only be enlightened in comparison with others that are not. Why not compare yourself with an Olympic gold medalist in boxing? What is your worth here? This is kindergarten stuff. What are you without others? If you really knew what you were, you wouldn't be able to do any comparisons and make any claims to your person.